This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting tonight from Washington.
Good evening. A defining day for the future of President Clinton, Special Prosecutor Ken Starr, Congress, and the country. Here's the latest. Details of the Ken Starr accusations are officially out. Starr claims the evidence, quote, may constitute grounds for an impeachment. That Mr. Clinton, quote, pursued a strategy of deceiving the American people and Congress. The president's lawyer fired back saying, quote, a private mistake does not amount to an impeachable action. That sexually explicit details in Starr's report are only there to, quote, humiliate, embarrass, and politically damage the president. Mr. Clinton himself admitted sin, sorrow, and repentance at an emotional White House prayer breakfast today. Our coverage of the Starr report and fallout begins with CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer on Capitol Hill. Bob?
Dan, this report accuses the president of lying, obstruction of justice, tampering with witnesses before the grand jury. In the view of the independent counsel, it all grows out of the president's relationship with Monica Lewinsky. It was the story of that relationship that took the bulk of the report that the independent counsel released today. The House Sergeant-at-Arms officially unsealed the document at mid-afternoon. It had been advertised as steamy, and you could almost see the steam rising as the boxes came open. It was a tawdry tale told by a young woman who had become emotionally involved with an older married man. She said it had begun during the government shutdown of 1995 with intense flirting. She said, I never expected to fall in love. According to Ms. Lewinsky, she and the president had 10 sexual encounters, 8 while she worked at the White House, 2 thereafter. She testified her physical relationship with the president included oral sex, but not sexual intercourse. In some passages, it is the story of a dreamy-eyed young woman. She called him handsome. He called her sweetie. But she was uncertain he would remain married after he left the White House. She quoted him as saying, who knows what will happen in 4 years when I'm out of office. But there are also torrid passages. During one episode, a cigar was used as a sex toy. At another point, they had sex while he chatted on the phone with a congressman. They took steps to keep the relationship secret. She said he didn't tell her to lie directly, but he did suggest misleading cover stories. Even after she was named a witness in the Paula Jones lawsuit, Ms. Lewinsky says the president reminded her of the cover stories. In the beginning, at least, she felt he really enjoyed her friendship. Early on, he told her, I'm usually around on weekends. No one else is around. You can come and see me. But that eventually changed when he decided to end the relationship. She says the president told her he had hundreds of affairs in his early part of his marriage, but after he had turned 40, he had tried to slow down. There is one other detail. The report confirms that the president did give a blood sample, and it was his DNA that matched the stain on the famous Monica Lewinsky cocktail dress. It was that kind of detail that had Democrats laying low today. Not many here at the Capitol came forward to defend it. But the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Republican Orrin Hatch, said no one here will take this lightly.
Our job here is to be fair and to look at it completely, to have a process that works and that is fair and decent, that has due process, to listen to the president's side of this matter as well. But I have to tell you that what I've read so far is not good.
So there's some rocky days ahead for this president, Dan.
Bob Schieffer. So how does all this translate, in Ken Starr's opinion, into 11 potential grounds for impeachment of the president in the areas of alleged perjury, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and abuse of power? That and other late details now from CBS News White House correspondent Scott Pelley. Scott.
Dan, sex is only the foundation for the serious legal charges that follow in the report. Ken Starr alleges that Mr. Clinton's actions constitute an abuse of power that is inconsistent with his duty to faithfully execute the laws.
That I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
It was almost exactly 1 year to the day after taking that oath that Mr. Clinton drove to his deposition in the Paula Jones sexual harassment suit and swore to another federal judge to tell the truth. This is where Starr's possible grounds for impeachment begin. There are 11 counts. Count 1, that the president lied under oath in the Jones case when he denied a sexual affair. 2, he lied under oath to the grand jury about his sexual relationship. 3, he lied under oath about being alone with Lewinsky and about the many gifts they exchanged. 4, the president lied under oath about his discussions with Lewinsky concerning the Jones suit. 5, he obstructed justice by concealing gifts then under subpoena. 6, he obstructed justice by suggesting Lewinsky make a false affidavit. 7, he obstructed justice by helping Lewinsky obtain a job at a time she was a potential witness against him. 8, the president lied under oath about his discussions with Vernon Jordan concerning Lewinsky's involvement in the Jones case. 9, he tampered with a potential witness by attempting to influence the testimony of his secretary, Betty Curry. 10, Mr. Clinton endeavored to obstruct justice by refusing to testify and lying to White House aides. And 11, Mr. Clinton abused his constitutional authority, lying to the public and Congress. Starr alleges that Mr. Clinton lied to beat the Jones suit and thwart the Lewinsky investigation. In counts 1 and 2 alleging perjury, Starr makes these points. In the Jones case, Mr. Clinton swore, quote, "I have never had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky." Months later, before Starr's grand jury, the report says Mr. Clinton explained that answer by maintaining there can be no sexual relationship without sexual intercourse, regardless of what other sexual activities may transpire. In count 8, Starr quotes the testimony of the president's friend Vernon Jordan. After Lewinsky signed a false affidavit, Mr. Clinton asked Jordan to find her a job. Jordan said when he secured the job, he called the president's secretary and said, quote, "Mission accomplished." Count 11 accuses Mr. Clinton of abusing his authority by lying to the public and the Congress in January 1998.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never.
The same count also accuses Mr. Clinton of lying again to the public and the Congress on August 17th.
While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information.
There is a great deal more besides, including this. The report alleges Mr. Clinton ordered the Secret Service to keep quiet about what it saw. The report says that Monica Lewinsky came to a White House entry gate at one point and was held there by the Secret Service while Mr. Clinton was in the Oval Office with another woman. Miss Lewinsky apparently threw a fit. Mr. Clinton, the report says, called the watch commander into the Oval Office and told him to keep it quiet. The watch commander testified that he went back to his men and said, "Whatever happened here didn't happen. You can keep your jobs as long as you keep it quiet." Yesterday, Mr. Clinton told Senate Democrats that there would be no surprises in today's report. Tonight, some of those Democrats might be wondering just what Mr. Clinton meant by that. Dan?
Scott Pelley at the White House. For his part, President Clinton sought to counter the Starr report on two fronts: public contrition and repentance for his conduct, apologies, but also a strong point-for-point rebuttal and legal defense. CBS's Bill Plant is tracking that part of the story. Bill?
Dan, the president today asked again for forgiveness, but his lawyers were not apologizing. They asserted that he had been set up. Working through the night, the White House counsel and the president's private attorneys prepared a rebuttal even before Kenneth Starr released his report. They made this key argument.
There is no credible evidence of impeachable offenses.
The president's lawyers point out that the Constitution calls for impeachment only for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. The phrase high crimes and misdemeanors, the lawyers argue, was never designed to allow a political body to force a president from office for a very personal mistake. The lawyers are quick to flatly deny the body of the independent counsel's charges.
The president did not commit perjury. He did not obstruct justice. He did not tamper with witnesses. And he did not abuse the power of his office.
Mr. Clinton's attorneys do say for the first time that the president admitted he had an improper sexual relationship with Lewinsky. But they still claim, as the president did in his televised speech to the nation, that what happened between Mr. Clinton and Lewinsky was not technically sex. These encounters, they argue, did not consist of sexual intercourse, and they did not consist of sexual relations as he understood that term. The rebuttal questions the motives of Linda Tripp and independent counsel Kenneth Starr in undertaking the investigation to begin with.
The salacious allegations in this referral are simply intended to humiliate, embarrass, and politically damage the president. In short, this is personal and not impeachable.
The arguments made by the president's lawyers are not intended for any judge or jury or even so much Congress. The whole point of their aggressive response is damage control. The rebuttal is designed to sow enough doubt about the motives of Kenneth Starr so that Democrats in Congress don't come marching down Pennsylvania Avenue to demand the president's resignation. Dan?
Bill Plant at the White House. Now, a few minutes ago, the president appeared with the First Lady at an Irish-American peace rally here in Washington, and they received an enthusiastic response from those in attendance at that Irish-American peace rally, with the First Lady joining in the applause and smiling broadly. Yes. Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, we think you'll be interested in a look and listen to the president's plea for forgiveness at this morning's prayer breakfast. Also, White House observers on what's going on behind the scenes, and the stock markets on our Friday Market Watch as the CBS Evening News rolls on from Washington.
Is there a store between here and the Canadian border we haven't been to? Honey, I'm beat. I'm starving.
Here's something good for you.
Ensure bars?
Complete balanced nutrition. To go.
Ensure bars with protein, 24 vitamins and minerals, including calcium, vitamin D, iron, zinc, antioxidants, C and E, a source of complete balanced nutrition.
Delicious. What's next?
The Canadian border.
I'm ready.
Ensure bars to your health.
You're not taking that laxative. It's got stimulants that may cause cramping.
Says who?
Says on the label. Don't you know nothing's better than Phillips Milk of Magnesia?
All these overnight laxatives have stimulants that may cause cramping. Phillips doesn't. It's the only one that's stimulant-free.
And you know Phillips.
She never takes a vacation.
Phillips, effective relief without harsh stimulants. And also try convenient liquid gels.
Oh, I missed the news.
Now you can watch any missed newscast or catch Talk of the Town through streaming video 24 hours a day. Click on the newschannel5.com and never miss another newscast. News Channel 5 online. Information for your life.
Keep it going. Okay, that's enough.
Bayer can relieve joint inflammation and stiffness. Tylenol can't. And taken regularly, Bayer can help save your life. Ask your doctor. Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
The latest CBS News poll out today indicates very little public sentiment, at least for the moment, in favor of either President Clinton's impeachment or his resignation. The majority of those polled, almost 6 out of 10, say they would prefer the whole matter be dropped. At an extraordinary White House prayer breakfast this morning, the president went beyond his recent round of apologies. He went to acknowledging sin and expressing remorse and repentance. We want you to get a sense of it, so we're now going to show you a rather lengthy for an evening news broadcast excerpt.
I agree with those who have said that in my first statement after I testified, I was not contrite enough. I don't think there is a fancy way to say that I have sinned. It is important to me that everybody who has been hurt know that the sorrow I feel is genuine. First and most important, my family, also my friends, my staff, my cabinet, Monica Lewinsky and her family, and the American people. I have asked all for their forgiveness. But I believe that to be forgiven, more than sorrow is required. I have repented. The children of this country can learn in a profound way that integrity is important and selfishness is wrong. I want to embody those lessons for the children of this country. For that little boy in Florida who came up to me and said that he wanted to grow up and be president and to be just like me. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means losing face. it means starting all over again. And this is always painful. It means saying, I am sorry.
The president's deeply emotional talk today is part of a larger strategy and set of options the Clinton camp is turning to now and will be operating on in the days ahead. But how is it being conceived and how is it being perceived? And will it work with the public and with members of Congress? We turn to two people with insights on that, former Clinton White House aide Don Baer and now CBS News consultant and CBS News analyst Gloria Berger. Gloria, first, you've been talking to Democratic members of Congress. How are they reacting to these apologies?
Well, they think the apologies are necessary, but they're not sufficient to get this president off the hook. I talked to a Democrat today who said, look, we don't know what else to say to the president when we meet with him, so we tell him to keep apologizing. So he's been apologizing. Now, enough is enough. What they want is the president to show that he can start talking about something other than himself. They want him to start talking about the agenda because they've got to run on an agenda in those November elections. They want to see him talk about the issues again.
While noting that the support of these Democratic members of Congress is absolutely essential to the president remaining in office. Don Baer, the president's advisors, what do they believe should be the president and the first lady's next moves?
Well, there's an irony in what Gloria reports because they were doing these apologies to members of Congress in the cabinet this week because they felt those were needed in a targeted way to say, I'm sorry to these folks who felt in a very personal way that they were miffed by what the president had done and that he hadn't apologized. They realize now they have to first get through this weekend. Very difficult time with these sexual allegations that are out there. Try to kick down the legal arguments with the lawyers and also show that it's Ken Starr, not the president, who has forced the country to look at all these sexual allegations. But then they want to turn the corner. They want to pivot to going back to the issues and talking about the problems of the country.
Be interesting to see whether they can do that. Thank you, Don Baer and Gloria Berger. Stay with us now for more of this fast-developing story here in Washington and the rest of the day's news, including the floods of Tropical Storm Francis.
You remember me.
That foul ball.
Yeah, you were 12, a hot dog in each hand. I reached up and snatched that ball right out of the sky.
But this time the hot dogs are on me.
I wish I could.
Oh, but Dad, you can. Take this Pepsi AC before you eat. Heartburn stops before it starts.
Before I eat?
Yep.
You get us the hot dogs, and I'll get us another foul ball.
You can be heartburn-free with Pepsi AC.
While Johnny Kim was getting ready for the first customers of the day, someone else was looking at larger space for his growing business. At 3 o'clock, while the Curtis family was watching their daughter's soccer game, someone else was walking a prospective tenant through one of their apartment buildings. And while Carmen Delabar was preparing for a fashion show, someone else met with an appraiser about her investment property. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're realtors. Real estate is our life.
Hey, I got a letter back from Quaker. I wrote and told them that Quaker toasted oatmeal ought to be called Quaker tasty oatmeal.
It's oatmeal, it's toasted. To me, that says tasty.
Well, then they should call it that.
You need a hobby.
Quaker toasted oatmeal. It's your other oatmeal.
The average workday lasts longer than a few hours, but the average pain reliever may work a few hours, then quit. Aleve works all day with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. 2 pills, all-day relief, works for me.
The Star Report is on the internet, but so many people want to see it, it's hard to get to. Tonight on News Channel 5 at 6, we'll give you some shortcuts.
Another big jump today in the September steeplechase on Wall Street. Stock prices down sharply yesterday on impeachment fears, bounced back today on, among other things, economic factors, including a report showing wholesale prices down, the biggest decline since January. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained nearly 180 points today and ended this week of wild swings on the upside by, for the week, 155 points up. For the year, the Dow is still in the minus column, down 1.4%. Russia tonight turned to its communist past for a new prime minister. CBS's Richard Threlkeld in Moscow has more on what this could mean for the government, the economy, and President Boris Yeltsin.
Tonight, Russia finally has a government. The acting foreign minister and ex-KGB spy master Yevgeny Primakov was overwhelmingly approved as Russia's new prime minister by the lower house of the Russian parliament. I'll tell you in advance, Primakov told the deputies, I'm no magician. And he's certainly no Western-style reformer either, from the looks of his economic team. He named a communist economist as his first deputy. Another Soviet-era bureaucrat, Viktor Gerashenko, will head Russia's central bank. When Gerashenko had that job before, one Western economist described him as the worst central banker in the world. Primakov envisions a kind of Russian-style New Deal, using government money to pump up the economy. Trouble is, Russia's basically broke, and printing more rubles will, many experts fear, turn this economic crisis into a disaster. President Yeltsin addressed the Russian people on TV today. I understand life is hard for everyone, he said. Now we must work to overcome this crisis, all of us together. Yeltsin's had to make so many concessions to get this government, he's swiftly becoming little more than a figurehead. So there's a political vacuum here, and the communists are rushing to fill it. Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, Moscow.
CBS News reported earlier today that President Clinton will not send to the Senate this month the nomination of Richard Holbrooke to be the new U.S. ambassador to the UN, as was intended. The reason: questions raised about some of Holbrooke's financial affairs. A distinguished American diplomat with a long record, Holbrooke believes he has done nothing wrong, that this will be proven, and that he will eventually be confirmed. Holbrooke today received new expressions of support from the President and the Secretary of State.
Morning seems so much brighter after a good night's sleep. That's why I love my Tylenol PM. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping. I used to worry about taking something. How would I feel in the morning? And then I tried Tylenol PM. It stops my pain and helps me sleep. So in the morning, I'm rested, refreshed, ready to make the most of my day.
Rest easy. It's Tylenol PM.
I should have used Preparation H.
If you had, you wouldn't be suffering now. Preparation H helps stop itch and further irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
Stops itch, stops irritation.
This town counts on me. No time to get slowed down by irregularity. My doctor suggested Metamucil, the only leading brand with 100% natural fiber.
Keeps me regular gently so I can keep up.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
I'm 67 years old and I may bend, but I never break.
When some people hit 50, stiffness makes it harder to do the things they love.
I'm 68 years old and I live by one motto: always stay flexible.
Twin Lab Joint Fuel nutritionally supports healthy joint and bone function and helps keep you strong so you can do the things you love.
I'm 75 and I've always said if somebody does something nice for me, I'll do backflips for them.
Twin Lab Joint Fuel at GNC and other health food stores.
We know all about it. Some people throw away the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes without even opening it up. Well, this week, that could be a costly mistake. Because this week, if you throw away a Publishers Clearinghouse envelope with this green star, you could be throwing away a real check for $100,000. There are thousands of real checks right inside selected envelopes marked with a green star. Checks you can take right to the bank. So watch for a Publishers Clearinghouse envelope with a green star. There could be a real check inside.
Kansas City battles Jacksonville. The Chiefs' dangerous defense collides with Mark Brunell and the Jaguars' pass attack. The NFL on CBS.
The worst may be over with Tropical Storm Francis, but that was bad enough for much of the U.S. Gulf Coast. Francis dumped a foot of rain that swamped large parts of Houston, New Orleans, and many places in between. CBS's Bob McNamara has the flooding story.
The storm soaked Houston, turning freeways into bayous, bayous into big rivers.
It's bad.
In a suburb, rescuers evacuated dozens, including children, from an area of 200 homes. One family from the hood of a stranded truck.
You just gotta wait it out.
Before dawn today, 22 people had to be rescued from the roof of a Mexican tour bus stranded in 6 feet of water. In Louisiana, a tornado spawned by Francis exploded a trailer house, killing a 22-year-old man. The twister wrecked a lumber yard where workers who saw it approach ran for their lives.
We just thank God that nobody got killed.
Tonight in New Orleans, Canal Street is a knee-deep canal, a city of flooded stores, beauty salons, and wet feet. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Dallas.
Last winter, after years of high cholesterol, Mike Vaughn had a heart attack.
He spoke to his doctor about Zocor, a cholesterol medicine proven to help save the lives of people with high cholesterol and heart disease. Now he's made some important plans with Alex. When diet and exercise aren't enough, talk to your doctor about adding Zocor. Zocor is a prescription medicine and is not right for everyone. It is not for people with liver problems or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Your doctor may perform blood tests to check for liver problems. Because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor. And tell your doctor about any medicines you are taking. For product information, talk to your doctor or pharmacist, or call 1-800-MERC-94. Zocor is the most often prescribed cholesterol medicine. Aren't there enough reasons in your life to ask your doctor about Zocor? Zocor, cholesterol medicine that helps save lives. It's your future. Be there.
This summer, when you itch from mosquitoes or poison ivy, remember the power of 10. Among these, only Cortisone 10 penetrates skin with the medicine doctors recommend most to stop itching and help heal. Remember the power of 10. Cortisone 10.
What's the difference between Pillsbury cinnamon rolls and prepackaged? Wake up to Pillsbury cinnamon rolls.
Nothing compares.
Another breakthrough from the 1 Hour Labs of LensCrafters. New Featherweights Plus lenses. They're lighter, they're thinner, they're more impact resistant, and now they're twice as scratch resistant compared to regular plastic lenses. New Featherweights Plus, only from LensCrafters, made in about an hour.
Looking for cleaner, healthier water? Get the new Pure Plus pitcher. The only pitcher that reduces both chemicals and microorganisms. Get more out of your water. Get new Pure Plus.
Updating our top story and looking ahead, the now officially released Ken Starr report claims 11 grounds for possible impeachment of President Clinton. It discloses the blood sample given by the president is a DNA match for the stain on Monica Lewinsky's dress. The president's lawyers deny any impeachable conduct. They say explicit details in the Starr report are designed to, quote, humiliate and politically damage the president. We go now to our correspondent Bob Schieffer on Capitol Hill and Scott Pelley at the White House for a look ahead. Bob, what's next?
Well, now the members and lawyers on the Judiciary Committee will be pouring through this 18 boxes of evidence, testimony, and so forth to see how much more of it can be released. By next month, they'll be ready to make a recommendation to the House on whether there should be full impeachment hearings. If there are hearings, we expect them next year.
Scott Pelley at the White House, what should we be looking for this weekend?
Dan, at the prayer breakfast this morning, the president said he was asking his attorneys to mount a vigorous defense. They will be going over the Starr report tonight and all weekend, looking for weaknesses, and they will be presenting a defense to the Congress.
Scott Pelley at the White House, and that's part of our world. Later this evening, mark it please, a special edition of 48 Hours, the White House under fire, the Clinton presidency hanging in the balance, with all the latest from Washington on details in the Starr report and the White House's response. That'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 in the Central Time Zone. Until that special broadcast for the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting from Washington. I'll see you later on the special 48 Hours.
CBS.com for news 24 hours a day. Experience CBS News.
Kenneth Starr's report is